Hello, good friends. I'm here to tell you three principles on how to forgive. So, again, forgiveness is one of the most challenging emotional and cognitive tasks you as a person would have to undertake to release yourself when you are hurt. It is not a single event, but a gradual process of your inner transformation that require that you release resentment, you release, um, you know, pain, and then you reframe how you see yourself and even others. Psychologists who have studied this particular issue of forgiveness for decades have identified certain principles that can help you release the person and release yourself. But as I often say, release yourself first. So, what is the first principle? The first is to acknowledge the hurt and be honest about it. Because the journey towards forgiveness begins with honesty. So, many people will try to forgive too quickly. Sometimes they are pretending uh, that what actually happened did not really hurt them, or that they have already moved past it. But psychologists will call this pseudo forgiveness, and it often delays genuine healing. True forgiveness requires that you first acknowledge the depth, of the wound, the betrayal, the disappointments, the loss, the injustice, etc., etc. Because by naming the pain clearly and allowing yourself to feel it without, judgment, you are actually creating an emotional foundation upon which forgiveness can be built. Because when you suppress feelings, they tend to resurface as anger, as anxiety, or resentment. Think about that. But if you acknowledge the feeling, it becomes workable material for your healing. Well, principle number two is that separate the person from the behavior, because one of the most powerful psychological shifts in forgiveness is learning to distinguish between a person and their actions. See, when we are hurt, we often define the offender entirely by the wrong they have done. And yes, I do that. You can also do that. And this will reduce them to a single moment of failure. But let me encourage you, my dear friend, that you view human beings as complex individuals who are actually shaped by their histories, their fears, and limitations. Now, this doesn't mean